Hello, today was such a fun day. Transfer day. Okay, so lots of followers. My name's Micah, for those of you who don't know me, and we adopted 6 frozen embryos, which means people who've become sweet friends of ours did IVF and they had 6 embryos left over. And their family is complete, and so we got to adopt them. So we've been through the process, and today we transferred one of the 6 embryos. We chose one because, well, once you already have one child, and that's not true. There's lots of people who would still have twins after having one child. I'm not one of them, and I understand my capacity and realize if God wants me to have twins, he's going to have to split these embryos or something else. So I just want to kind of share with you guys today. So first thing I did was, besides getting up at a crazy early hour because my son was like, hello, 5:30 is the time I want to get up. Okay. Normal morning, totally fine. Went to acupuncture at about 10:30. She did a lot of stuff, just basically she wanted to balance my body. She actually did stick needles right in my, I'd say ovary area. She doesn't ever do that once I actually get pregnant. Like once we've transferred embryos, like that's all off limits. But to stimulate that area before I go in, that's something she did. So that was just super, super fun. Going there and basically having like 20 minutes of just laying there and like allowing her to like place the needles in different areas to balance my body. So after that, then came home. My dad came over, watched Adler, and we drove up to Seattle. And guys, hello, thank you coronavirus, because there was 0 traffic. Got up there way early. It was awesome. Guys, the hardest part of today was having a full bladder for the procedure. It has been, like, having a full bladder for the procedure was challenging. But I made it, and I was even able to, like, they give you this funny, like, okay, I'll get there. So, went up there, checked in, had to wait, sitting full bladder, we go in, and it was just so different from my last experience, because my last experience was 5 minutes away. It was like, think of like IVF with like mom and pop shop, because it was like I knew the whole staff. It was super sweet, like the embryologist and I, Thomas and I, by the end of like all 6 rounds we did with them, like first name basis, I knew about all their kids, and this is going into where they're incredible. SRM is absolutely incredible about like, I don't have it with, oh, I forgot to grab it. They like give you the wristband. I felt like I was like having a child, which I was having a child, but just different. Giving a wristband, and basically like had my name, date of birth, my specific ID number, and all of that. And every time a new person would come in, they'd be like, okay, check the screen. Okay, check this. Same number, same name, same birthday. And I was like, okay, definitely making sure that the right embryos get placed in the right person. But it was just a very different experience. So I actually loved being able to, I loved that God gave us the gift clinic first, because it was just the sweetness we needed in that round. And now I'm like, I've done that. It's been great. I'm super thankful to, now it's just like, that's fine. You can give us a baby. We don't need all the other stuff. So, but they're incredible, right? They're compassionate and they're very professional and all of that. So they do an ultrasound. So the reason why you have a full bladder is because if you don't, your bowels will be in front of like the uterine lining, and when they watch all that. And so the full bladder basically pushes your bowels out of the way so they can see the ultrasound, which if you look at my stories, I have a picture of, you can see my bladder on the top and then the uterine lining with the uterus. And I pointed a little arrow so you can see like where the catheter was. So basically they made sure the embryos were ours. We were putting in one, the best quality. It's called 5AA. And then they're like ready to go. And so literally they use this super fun thing. They open everything up and then they take a catheter, super, super tiny catheter, you guys, like definitely not like cathing you so that you go to the bathroom, but super tiny catheter. They suck up the little embryo. We actually got to like watch it. They had a little video where they showed us, which again, posted a picture of it. But the first thing, which I didn't even tell you guys that, the first thing they did is they actually come out and they say, okay, this is a picture of our little embryo. So this is a picture of what this little guy looks like who's inside me right now. And the embryologist was really sweet because she thought it at 12:30. Our appointment was at 1:30. Okay. So in the hour, oh my gosh, it's got sparkles on it. Funny. In the hour, that it thawed. She was like, it's already starting to expand and all of that. So think best quality embryo, already expanding, like coming to life, unthawing, like all of that. And then the transfer was just incredibly smooth. So they literally did a like, I'll say fake transfer, and that they put a catheter in there just to make sure it was really smooth and there's like no surprises with tilted uteruses and all of that. And then they put the fake one in, and then she went in, sucked up the little embryo, did that, and then they actually go back in, which the door that was opening was kind of fun. I could see her right there. She like does some more stuff to make sure that the embryo didn't attach to the catheter. Okay. So that they are actually like, yep, embryo's in me, we're good. And we got to watch all of this basically on the ultrasound screen up top. So embryo was transferred. Okay. So basically from here, and I really wanted to keep the straw that the embryo was in, but the sweet embryologist was like hardcore and she had already stuck it in biohazard. So she knows if this has to happen again, she knows to keep it for next time. But she was really sweet because she gave me the lid for the Petri dish. Like this was the lid of the Petri dish that this little squishy was thawed out in. So I thought that was really sweet of her. So basically this little embryo is in my uterus, and now it literally just has to attach to my uterine wall, like my uterine lining wall area, right? Like that's so, this is where sticky prayers come in, and I'm in a really, really good place because I know we've got 5 others. Obviously I pray for each and every one we stick in, and I've just been envisioning this like super, I sat Thomas into the bathroom right afterwards, and I was just sitting in the hall with my eyes closed, and I was just praying and envisioning this like warm, cozy, comfy, welcoming uterus with really sticky walls, which sounds really silly and funny, but it was what I was just like, you know what, like I'm going to create a space to where if this is the little one God has for us, this is the one that's going to stick. And I just wanted to mention 3 things. Okay. One was there's an incredible woman called named Whitney Williams. She is also an embryo adoption mama. She wrote this book, and it's a sweet allegory. It's all about basically how they made cookies and then they had too many, and so they ended up giving them to a neighbor. And I read it to Adler. It came this morning. Perfect timing. I'm friends with her on Facebook, so we've been chatting back and forth, but it was just it's a really, really sweet book. So if you know someone who's done embryo adoption or any of that, I think I'm going to post the link on this live for her, because it's just really a really good story to explain it. The other things, our embryo, the donors, that sweet mama found out a couple weeks ago, 2 weeks actually after we officially transferred the embryos, that she has breast cancer. And that's just been, the reason why I'm mentioning it right now is because it's amazing to see God in all of this, that he has given her this sweet thing to focus on during a really hard time. And I'm just amazed again and again about his bigness and his goodness and how he knew this was going to happen at this time. She was actually incredible in that she contacted me immediately and was like, I don't want you transferring until you know about this. And my response was, we prayed about this a year ago, whether or not we were going to accept these embryos from you. Knowing all your family health history up until then, God knew this was going to happen, and that doesn't change our mind. Like, God is not surprised by this result. So it was really just incredible to see his timing and how it did. You guys, it took us a full year for all the paperwork to happen. I looked back on my son. It took us like 2 or 3 months for all the lawyer paperwork to work. I was like, 2 or 3 months versus a year. Like, that's a huge difference. God's timing is huge and big and perfect. So those 2 things. There was one other thing. I can't remember what it is. So basically, we were just praying huge, sticky, awesome prayers, and we will find out on a week from Friday. I don't know when. Obviously, I will jump on and tell you guys as soon as we know. But it's just a really, really cool journey to see the incredibleness that is science, that they're able to extract eggs and sperm and create embryos, but then they are able to thaw them out and transfer them into someone, and someone who's not the biological person that they were created from. So we are just so honored to be on this journey with Bill and Amanda, and so excited to just feel like I'm pregnant right now, right? So, that's what I was gonna say. PUPO, pregnant until proven otherwise. So until we are proven otherwise, next Friday, we are pregnant, doing all the things, avoiding the right oils, using all the other oils, and all of that. So I adore you all. Thank you for being on this journey with us. It's super, super fun, and we will keep you guys updated with all the things. So love you all.